How to go from struggling to create deal flow to creating a marketing machine that you never want to turn off with this dynamic variable iteration process. And this is the most proven way to generate appointments and grow your business in the new marketing era. All right. By the end of this video, you'll learn our private process, which no one else in the industry is able to replicate based on our internal data. And my name is Harvey Lemus. This is what I look like. And my team and I have managed over $100,000 in Google's and Facebook ads. And we've generated hundreds of calls using Google. We've generated hundreds of calls using Facebook ads. And I used to work at an agency, which is how I know all this stuff. And the reason why you should listen today is because apart from myself, I've been in the advertising trenches with my peers who spent over 100 million on ads. And I can confirm with you what you will learn today works. Like no shadow of a doubt. This is my Instagram. If you want to go give me a follow and you know I'm a real human. Today, I have something that is going to change the game for you. Okay. And you're going to learn the number one reason why companies don't grow. You're also going to learn the one thing you don't understand that changes everything in your life. And lastly, what Warren Buffett and other billionaires say is the number one reason you won't succeed. Before we do that, you must understand profits are often hidden in plain sight. So once you identify your gaps and you know where you can grow, all of the biggest businesses who know how to grow are using this, and they're using something called leverage and insights. And when you once you understand this, you know how to speed up the process of filling in those gaps. And I'm going to show you how this is applicable, but we have something called the leverage pyramid. All right, and this is something who Alex Hormozy, like, this is his little graph, but this is something that other billionaires all agree upon. And this is the idea of leverage, right? So there's four types of leverage: code, content, capital, and collaboration / labor. And today we're going to show you how you're going to be able to use leverage. So the principles on this pyramid and how you can be able to apply this to your business. Because once you understand this, you're going to make more money and you're going to grow. And your business is going to become more efficient. And you're going to be able to have more time to do what you want to do in life. If that's work more, if that's work less, whatever, this is going to be able to do that for you because you're going to have more leverage. The biggest businesses understand leverage, and this is the one thing you're missing. So people would be like, data and insights are only for the big companies. All right, wrong. All smart entrepreneurs use leverage and insights because it's how you can build something meaningful without you having to do everything. Do you think Zuck built Facebook on his own? Of course not. So the question you probably have is like, how do I build leverage and insights? And our insights today is what's going to show you the sauce. So the number one reason companies don't grow, you don't have a go-to market strategy. All right. What are the three different categories of marketing at the highest level? There's three. There's cold traffic, there's warm traffic, and there's retention traffic, right? Retention marketing, as they say. And these are the three different layers. And why is this important? Because the goal is omnipresence. You want to be able to reach all three all the time. Because if you're everywhere, then, they're going to be like, I can't escape this brand. Let me check them out. But Harvey, word of mouth. And I understand. Trust me, word of mouth is a form of marketing, but by formalizing it with other marketing strategies that are designed for you to grow, you can leverage what's already working and amplify the impact. So if you got word of mouth, amplify. And that's what advertising is. It amplifies what already works, which gives you even more results, right? Sugar Fina saw a 200% increase in sales within a year after implementing a digital advertising strategy with Facebook and Google, and local businesses see an average of 50% increase in website traffic, meaning their cold traffic is drawing eyeballs, meaning the more eyeballs you get, the more people are going to buy. Simple. So how do you implement a go-to market strategy? This is the steps. One, identify a existing customer with new offers, right? This is like the people who are already in your circle. Give them what you got now. Step two, target the warm audiences for an offer, right? You got a core offer. So these are people who are like, they like you, they know you, but they ain't necessarily the customer, right? These are people who already know you, right? Give them your core offer, right? Show them what you got. Step three, target cold audiences with offers. So these people who don't know you, right? You need an offer that's going to get yourself in front of them, right? Something that's irresistible, right? And then the last thing is test. This is how you're going to be able to find out. So just to give you a visual representation of what I'm talking about, existing audience, right? This is retention. These are the people who you already have as customers. It's the little green circle, right? People who are cool with you, people who already know you, people who already like you, people who keep buying from you. Second is a core offer. These are the people who like know you, they're warm. It's like they would be interested, but they just haven't bought for whatever reason. And you should get something in front of them before they buy from someone else. And then last, people who don't know you, right? But this is how you actually grow. It's tapping into the red circle. Because if you can tap into the red circle, then you're able to reach people who have never heard of you before, and that's how you develop a customer base that consistently grows, right? And you don't have to continue to market to the people who have heard of you, and then they're like, eventually they're gonna get sick of hearing from you because they already know of you and they're not interested because they would have already bought. So that's why you have to target new people. All right, so think of it as like your friend group, your social circle. Cold are the people who you could connect with but aren't aware of each other, right? This is the red circle. That's the red circle. It's the cold people. All right, and then the warm people are the people who are aware of you, like each other, but haven't moved forward for whatever reason. These are people. That's the blue circle. And retention are your good friends, people you have tons of experience together. And if you were to ask them for a favor, they'd probably do it because y'all are cool like that. That's the green circle. And the one thing you don't understand that changes everything in your life, right? And that is what we call economics. Is you don't understand economics and why and what is economics like? Why is that important, right? So your ability to give appropriate channels the proper resources to succeed is key. You only have a limited supply, and what you say yes to means you're saying no to other things. And that's the definition of strategy, all right? So what is economics? It's the allocation of resources. And in our situation, it's allocation to attention. Allocation to attention of where the marketing is going, right? What resources are being put to what? So where's the marketing going? In the modern era, a strategy that is digitally led is the key to top of mind awareness at the cheapest cost, at the highest frequency, which means you're gonna get the most for your dollars because billboards, direct mail, and other forms of media, they're not close. It's so much more expensive to use those medias. So brands that make real-time adjustments based on campaign data achieve 70% better results. And you can't do that with the traditional media like billboards, mail, and all this stuff because digital media lets you tweak ads as they go, which means you tweak the underperforming ones. And brands that leverage data-driven insights from tools like Google Analytics or audience research or any type of other type of platform get 5 to 8 better results. And proper A/B testing is essential. It leads to a 49% improvement in engagement across all types of advertising. So this means you need to adjust your economics to support working with a growth agency because at this point, unless you're going to hire a full-time chief marketing officer, which is going to cost you anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 a year, which if you can afford that, then that's just to get someone on board. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to know what they're doing. Then you need to work with a growth agency because that is your best hope. Because handling it yourself is probably not going to work out because you only have so much time in the day, and if you do it yourself, then you're never going to be able to remove yourself, which means you're never going to grow. So you're like, I can handle my advertising. I don't need an expert. And that's the thing is like if an expert could ensure that you're going to grow faster, you're going to get a higher return on investment, meaning the more dollars you spend, the more you're going to make back. You're gonna get more profit. Wouldn't it be aligned with your overall business goals to have them on your team? So if you value growth and success above everything else, then listen up. Because after all, the aim is to grow the business as efficiently and effectively as possible. So it's just like building a house. If you could do it yourself, like sure you could paint the walls, would you be able to trust yourself with the electrical wiring and the foundation without having a specialist who's been doing that their entire life? Or, just like advertising, it's like building the foundation to your house, but it's just building the foundation to your business. Getting an expert that can do that is ensuring that it's going to be built to last. So, what are the strategy? First, you need to identify your key performing metrics, right? Your numbers, understand where your current resources are allocated, and identify where are the opportunities, like where can I put my resources instead, and understand the probabilities, like the pros and cons, first, second, and third order consequences. If I pull my resources out of this and put into this, is that going to make me better? Is that going to bring me down financially, in terms of results, in terms of the marketing, et cetera, et cetera? And then you just allocate, right? Understand where are your best bets to be placed, and then allocate. Simply put, when you understand economics, you can understand what to prioritize because proper resource allocation is what makes you money. Not the Google or Facebook ads that you see these YouTube videos talking about, because that stuff is tactical and it doesn't work. It works in the short term, but in the long term, that doesn't work. Now, what Warren Buffett and other billionaires say is the number one reason you won't succeed, right? And it's because you can't focus. Shopify, the company, reported 96% revenue growth in 2021 because they were able to focus on their advertising strategies, and it got implemented by outside professionals because they just did what they knew best, right? It's their product. They didn't do the advertising. Peloton similarly grew its brand awareness dramatically because they're focused on developing better bikes, not developing better campaigns. They put people who can just 100% focus on advertising to do that. And they focus on their product, which is how really big businesses are grown. Okay. And it's by having an internal marketing team, right? So they have a marketing team already, but they still work with outside professionals because they understand if someone can put their 100% focus, they're going to do a better job than they can, right? And which why we're not hearing of Skype, we're hearing of Zoom because Zoom understands the ability to focus. So focus is king, right? This is what it looks like when you're focused on a lot of things versus when you're focused on one thing. When you're focused on a lot of things, your energy is everywhere and you don't move far. But when you focus on one thing, you move far. And this is what I'm trying to show you here is like when you're able to focus, you move a lot further. So if it's focusing on advertising, if it's focusing on growing the business and handling the fulfillment, making sure everybody's doing well, your employees, like the product is good. That's what business owners should be doing, is figuring out ways to grow the business, not working in the business. All right. So if you're like, I don't have time to implement and oversee complex marketing campaigns, right? Many successful business owners have grown their companies by delegating marketing. Like this is not revolutionary stuff. Like if their approach to time management could work, like don't you think it could work for you? And the outdoor apparel giant has successfully implemented a delegation strategy by outsourcing its marketing campaigns to experienced agencies, right? This is how Patagonia is able to grow because they just like Peloton, just like Shopify, they were able to delegate and focus on what matters. Just like planting a garden, you may not have that time in the day to go in and manually plant, manually water each one. But if you develop an irrigation system, something that you can delegate and automate what's important to, then you save time and you get better results in the long term because the system will eventually be able to do it better than you can. And that's the whole point of systemization, right? So what's the strategy here is you want to identify your team, right? Who are your players that are going to be able to get you to where you want to go? You identify your numbers, identify what are the metrics we're striving towards, right? Because the tactics don't matter as much as matters like what are the numbers we're aiming towards, and we're going to make a plan to move towards that every day. And then identify what it takes to achieve those results, like what I just said. What are we going to do every day that's going to be able to get us there? And then try, right? Do what you think is the best foot forward, and then do that and see what the results, and then feedback loop. See what worked, what didn't work, double down on what worked, don't do what didn't work. Simply put, when you focus, you get more done. Stop dabbling around in things that are slow or don't work. Okay, slower meaning you doing it all yourself, or don't work meaning if you're not getting a good result, move on, do something better. And focus on what generates the most results, which in 2024 and forward is where the attention is, and that's digital media. So what we suggest is when you work with an expert, ideally someone who has agency experience working with multiple different industries, because that's someone who's going to know the game. That's someone who's going to understand the seasons, right? Because sometimes things are going well, sometimes things aren't going well. No matter what agency you work with, things will go bad. Things were also going to go great. So understanding someone who's experienced, someone who's a veteran in the sense of like when something goes wrong, how do they handle it? Number two, someone who works with the Facebook, Google, and traditional media. As much as I said traditional media isn't the way to go, there is still room for it. However, that shouldn't be your main strategy. Your main strategy should be digital media because that is where you're going to be able to spend the least but get the most results. However, when you incorporate it with traditional media, like it just does, it goes crazy. Okay. Three, someone you like. Things get messy. And if you're not working with someone who you have a good relationship with, someone who you could see as a friend, then odds are when things go bad, you're probably gonna stop working with that agency, which means you're not gonna be able to compound what you guys have going. Because if you work with the same agency forever, you're gonna be able to develop a great relationship with them, so they transcend business. But most importantly, they're gonna be able to understand your business inside out. And if you're always switching from agency to agency, then it's like restarting all over. And when you restart all over, they have to get to know your business, have to see what works, what doesn't work. And that in itself is like a 6 months to a year process. So by you just switching an agency, you're wasting 6 months to a year on like getting onboarded and ramping up. So that's the end. You have two options. You can tune into our daily emails, which I put a lot of effort into, or you can book a call. So if you do book a call, I'll see you soon.